can't believe it still functions. Oh my goodness. I cut the exhaust back here so it's making some noise. Oh, it's not sounding good. And here's the aftermath. Basically, I moved it so I could clean this up with the vacuum because it's just gross, but yeah, goodness. That's just awesome. This is very strange. So some interesting things. The power steering still works. I think the car is running on 5 cylinders. That's my suspicion, because I put in a spark plug that was bad that I swapped from my other car into this in order for a quick change one day last, I think it was a couple months ago, but I did that just so I could limp the other Infiniti through, and I never changed it back to a decent one from in this car, so I feel like there's probably something wrong with that. It's vibrating, but it sounds fine. It's making some very odd noises. Like, these are not the types of things that you would notice when there's body work, but I'm sticking my hand out the door and there's just nothing here. So yeah, this is very, very strange. This almost makes me think that I should keep stripping and just like keep this for something. I don't know. I don't know where I'd put it, but I don't want to get rid of it now. Oh man, I want to go up and down the street, but that's probably pushing it. There's just random crap all over the place. I gotta clean it up a little bit, but this is the first time I've seen it in the light in a long time. Goodness, that was interesting. I just turned the car around and turned it back. I'm confident that with that bit of charge, basically I warmed up the engine for the first time in a while, which is not a bad thing. But I'm hopeful that with that I can start it up again and move it back into the garage. But for now, I'm going to quickly swap that spark plug back. That's something I've been wanting to do for a long time, so why not? It's easy access. The thing is literally right there. So we'll just wait for it to cool down, clean out the garage a little bit, try and see if it runs a little bit better with a better spark plug, and then yeah, obviously I got to make sure that I have footage of this engine running if I'm going to try and sell it, so I'll try and take some of that maybe. But for now it's literally just death cart with wires hanging all over the place, and I don't know. This is too much fun. A little bit too much. I wish I lived on a more private road. I would rip up and down. It feels weird, like it feels the brakes are extremely touchy, and I think that's just because we've lost so much weight that the car is supposed to be heavier, so the brakes anticipate that. Driving this, I feel very strange because I'm very used to the clutch now on my Tibron, so I'm like trying to find the clutch and then having it lift off the pedal and just having it work is very weird. It's been a few weeks since I drove something automatic a lot. But anyway, let's clean this thing up and clean up the garage and then see what else there is to do. So if you're wondering why today has been the day that I've done this, actually this is something I've been wanting to do for a while, just to take the car out, put it out in the driveway, and see what the garage looks like with space in it. Now these are brakes and stuff from the Tibron. I just had them underneath the other car, but there's a lot more room in here without that car in here. And this also gives me a chance to reset its position as well. It's a good thing I have a really long pair of jumper cables, because my goodness, they are necessary for this. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean up just a little bit. The floor in here is gross. I think when we finally do get this shell completely gone, I'll have to clear most of the stuff out of the floor in here and just power wash the heck out of the floor, because there have been a few leaks, possibly power steering. I think that's what's down there. Oil maybe. The car is yeah, it was smoking a little bit when I started it, and I got a little bit worried about that, but then I remembered that one of the things that was wrong with this car is that there is oil leaking onto the manifolds, which is nice. So you can kind of see that down there. It's not the cleanest of engines. However, the spark plug in question that we need to get to is literally just number one right there, nice and easy. So yeah, that's what I'm going to try and do, I think. It's still a bit hot. I mean, I don't want to approach it when it's too hot, so we'll let it cool down a bit, and hopefully it restarts when I need to move it back into the garage. Otherwise, we're going to have to do a boost from the other Infiniti to this one, which isn't too bad, but yeah. Anyway, let's get going with this. See if I can't just fix that before it starts raining again. So taking the spark plugs out of this it's not too bad. I've done it myself once before. Yeah, the car is back in the garage again because it started to rain. As you can likely tell, there are a few spots. I didn't want it to rain in the interior, and it started up no problem, so I'm fairly happy about that actually. But to get to spark plug number one here, I'm fairly certain this is number one, we need to do a few things. One of the things I like to do is just loosen the harness a little bit. That hole there is, well, it was formerly a bolt. Same thing up there, just makes it a bit easier to get this coil out. And then you're going to notice that there is a piece that is directly in the way, and you can remove that as well. It's just got some clamps on it, so that's all it is. Literally just 2 10s up here for that, and then some pliers maybe to undo those clamps. We got to undo the clip on the coil pack, which you can see in there, and there's a 10 mil holding that on too, so pretty easy stuff. Yeah, I feel like I'm making some progress today. That spark plug is back in there. The old one, well, the one that I took out actually was, like I said, a failure from my other Infiniti, and it looks like that. The end of it is toast. It's relatively new. It's a nice iridium spark plug, but my Infiniti sedan over there eats the number 4 spark plug every so often, so I have a backup set and I swapped one of these for one in this car as a temporary until I could buy that set. But I think we're ready to try it again. It seems to have stopped raining, so maybe I will well, if it rides a little bit smoother, I might try and go a bit further, although I'm a little bit worried about that. We shall see. Let's try it. I want to give you guys the real G35 experience here, with nothing in the interior and also nothing on the sides. But thankfully, we have power, we have liftoff, and the starter is broken again. Let me try that again. Oh yeah, easy. She's loud, goodness. It's way smoother, so I think I was right about the problem with the spark plug. It's not riding rough at all anymore. The engine light is on, but I mean, I'm not too worried about that. It's raining just a little bit, but I'm going to try and go up and down the street just once, just to see what it'll do. I'm not going to go very far, obviously. I need to be within turnaround distance. I also have no wipers, and there's a giant hole in the roof, so I'm not really prepped for rain. So let's try it. If I get pulled over, I might cry, because there's nothing in this. I have no wallet. This is a bad idea. I don't even have lights, obviously. Well, the car is back in the garage, and I am dying because of how hot it is out here. It doesn't look hot, like it's just a very overcast day, but the humidity is nuts right now. It is over 80%, which is very unusual for this kind of area, but here we are. So I think what I'm going to do is just some light stuff today. I don't want to get sweaty or gross just sitting out here in the heat, but I'm going to take off these horns, I think. Try to clean up the front end just a little bit. Some of this stuff doesn't need to be there. Again, I want to keep the car driving. The battery is still plugged in, so we'll try to be careful with positive wires, but yeah. So I found out as well that this little box here seems to be something that people are after. It tends to go bad on these cars, but I'm fairly sure that this one is fine. So yeah, maybe I'll take that off as well. That is a controller for the headlights and especially the running lights. So yeah, maybe I can take that off. I don't know though. I'm just looking at this thinking like the next big things basically mean that I need more room. Because right now I'm a little bit stocked up on Infiniti bits, and some of them are broken, like some of the stuff over here is all broken, except for the bash bar there. So I need to basically clean out my garage, and then I can take off some more dramatic things. And I have to decide as well, and this is a pretty important decision, if I'm going to try and sell it as a running shell, or if I'm just going to take everything apart all the way down, take out the engine, that kind of thing. So a bit of work for me, and something I'm unsure about. That's something that I'm not ready to make the decision on, to be honest with you. I'm not ready to choose, but I do need some help with that idea. I figure, like, my logic behind things is fairly simple. If this is a shell, even if I strip everything out and just leave a seat and a steering wheel in there and I keep everything else, but the engine is here, the driveline is here, enough to keep it going, I can sell this as a shell to somebody, and then they can, I don't know, turn it into a race car or something. Like, perhaps. I feel like it's more valuable in that sense, but yeah, I'm not sure. I think part of that is me just thinking about trying to get this out of the garage. I mean, I have gotten it out of the garage already. It drives, it runs, and it runs fine as well. It runs pretty much exactly how it did before. A little bit smoky, a little bit loud, but overall, yeah, still some work to do, my goodness. Yeah, the next video might be me working on speakers, just because I really want to do that, and I want to clean up my bench a little bit. So, yeah, clean up and other side work to do. I really want to start fabricating that go-kart idea that I have, but I can't really weld when the car is literally right here. I don't want to send sparks all over the place, and I'm a little bit worried about that. I haven't welded in months because of it. So, goodness. Basically what's happening is this, then go-kart, and then the sky's the limit. Probably Tibron sitting in the garage while I daily the Infiniti again. Something of that sort.